Good evening and welcome back to Euro 2024 live on LFS for a second commentary of the day after we just saw a massively dramatic game between Spain and Germany, with the hosts dropping out of the competition after that extra time winner from Mikel Merino to give the victory to Spain. They took the lead in that game, Spain, through Dani Olmo in normal time before Florian Wirtz took it to extra time before Spain won it all over again with Mikel Merino. So the winner of this game between Portugal and France will play Spain in the semi-final. We said it was the tough side of the draw. Most certainly is. Germany, the first victims to this tough side of the draw. Spain, the victors. Portugal and France, old foes as well. A repeat of the 2016 European Championship final, where Portugal were victorious on French soil at the Stade de France in Paris, when Portugal were crowned European champions 8 years ago. And that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, a lot to do with that. Let's have a look at the teams then for this one. Very closely matched sides, as were Spain and Germany a bit earlier. This one probably even tighter in terms of what they've got on offer. Well, Roberto Martinez is named the same Portugal side who scraped through their last 16 tie against Slovenia on penalties. Diogo Costa, who saved 3 penalties in that, all 3 penalties in that shootout. He keeps his place in goal. Cancelo, Diaz, Pepe and Mendes make up the back four. Pepe, of course, 41, again extending his own record of the oldest player to be involved in a European Championships game. A midfield 3 of João Palhinha, Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes. Palhinha, if he's booked, if Portugal were to progress, he would be missing the semi-final. Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao and Cristiano Ronaldo, the captain, leading the line. Well, Didier Deschamps makes 2 changes to the French team, who beat Belgium in the last 16. Midfielder Adrien Rabiot is suspended, and striker Marcus Thuram has not been in great form, having missed a few chances in that one. In comes Randal Kolo Muani and Eduardo Camavinga in midfield. Maignan in goal, Koundé, Upamecano, Saliba and Theo Hernandez, an unchanged back 4, and on back 5 since the start of the tournament. Aurelien Tchouameni, N'Golo Kanté and Eduardo Camavinga make the midfield 3. Griezmann continues on the right wing after an impressive performance against Belgium. Randal Kolo Muani up front alongside Kylian Mbappe. The 2 strikers, the 2 star players in the teams, the 2 captains. France and Portugal. Kickoff in Hamburg is next. Good evening. Welcome to our second quarter-final of Euro 2024, and if it's anything like the first one, it will be certainly one for the history books. These two have met multiple times previously, including in the group stage of the last Euros and in the Euro 2016 final. Different results on those 2 occasions. Who will get the benefit of this one? Knockout football again. France, both sides didn't convincingly beat their opponents on the round of 16, with Portugal needing penalties and France needing a late own goal from Jan Vertonghen to decide the result there. It will certainly not be a formality, and neither side will take this for granted. It's going to be a tough game, and we're expecting a tight battle as we get underway. Portugal in, of course, red and green, and France in their white tops with navy shorts. Of course. The stadium a lot more mixed in terms of fans, unlike our previous game where it was almost exclusively German fans. Spain were certainly outnumbered on that occasion, but fairly similar numbers inside this one. Conte, who has been very impressive for France, back in the fold and back playing at top form, considering he did make that move to Saudi Arabia and playing at probably a less intense level of football, but certainly not showing it on the international stage. Up to the finest of levels for France. Theo Hernandez. First touch for Mbappe, who again obviously has the mask on, as he probably will do right the way through the tournament. Koundé trying to lift it into the box. Kolo Muani left it, and Portugal cleared it. Some good early control of the ball for France, who ultimately in their games, it's not the control of possession that has been the problem, it's their finishing. I mentioned it in the podcast that I did a couple of days ago, and I also mentioned it in the commentary against Belgium. Everything up until the final third was where they went wrong. They were perfect. That's Griezmann into the box. Kolo Muani squared it across to no one as Portugal clear it away, but positive start for France here. Starting on the front foot, trying to put it to Portugal within the first few minutes. Camavinga, who one of the two changes to the French team tonight. Rabiot, of course, suspended for yellow card accumulation in the last game. Means that Eduardo Camavinga comes in, the Real Madrid midfielder. Here is Camavinga. Griezmann to Mbappe. Camavinga. Antoine Griezmann linking up with Kolo Muani. Just well cut out there eventually as Fernandes tries to send Portugal on the break. Leao on the left flank, but well cut out by Upamecano. Koundé. Griezmann zipping football from France. A lot of pace in it, a lot of energy. Well, they know they've needed to improve, France. They've been scraping through and skimping through in a lot of their games. They haven't yet scored from open play with one of their own players in the tournament. That's not luck, I don't know what is, but sometimes you need a bit of luck. They've been performing well, it's their finishing that's been the problem. And they've scraped through somehow to this point. But it's not about how you start a tournament, it's about how you finish. And the best players show up in the big moments when they're needed. And that could be the difference for France tonight. Here's Rafael Leao for Portugal. Ronaldo, who created his own show, his own sitcom against Slovenia. Here's Leao trying to tear the French side inside out as the ball across from Nuno Mendes is cleared away by Hernandez. It comes down the right now with Bernardo Silva. Cancelo on the overlap. Silva. Back it goes. Fernandes to Vitinha. He's trying to break lines. Vitinha does well to keep the possession. And get it to Bruno Fernandes. A referee in this one. Another English referee. Both English referees today. Michael Oliver. Assisted by an English officiating team. Bernardo Silva to deliver. Cleared away by Saliba. Not fully away though. As France try and clear their lines. And ultimately in a bit of a bother as that's a lovely touch by Kolo Muani. Koundé tried to play it forward. The referee saying nothing wrong with João Palhinha's challenge. That was a really good challenge. Didier Deschamps maybe saying that that was not the case. Of course, we've mentioned it multiple times, and I'll not stop mentioning it when I commented on France. He could be the first person in history to win the World Cup and European Championship as a both a player and a head coach. Now, caveated with the fact that France need to win this tournament for that to be the case, obviously, but it could be a realistic possibility. It's not often that type of stat comes around, and when it does come around, you have to make the very most of it. Palhinha. Vitinha. Will be an interesting dynamic for this game. Both sides like to dominate possession. We've seen them dominate against, obviously, lesser sides, obviously, but we saw Portugal really dominate against Slovenia. France dominate the possession against Belgium, but both sides really struggled to score from those positions. So will it be them testing out, allowing the opposition to hold more possession, or continuing in their fight with the control of the ball? Here's João Cancelo down the right hand side, seen back infield, doesn't want to make that run down the right. As Pepe sprays it out to Nuno Mendes on the left. Mendes, weak cross, as that one was easily cleared by Tchouaméni. Mendes brings it down. Nuno Mendes, of course, of PSG. Palhinha. Bernardo Silva. France had the vast majority of possession for the first few minutes, but Portugal have had their little spell now. They're still having that little spell. Of course, the French defence has been one of their best qualities of the tournament so far for them. Yet to score, or yet to concede, sorry, from open play in the tournament. France, they won 1-0 against Austria, drew 0-0 with the Netherlands, drew 1-1 with Poland, but that Polish goal came from a penalty. And in the round of 16, they won 1-0 against Belgium. So yet to score from yet to concede, sorry, from open play. France, they are actually also yet to score from open play with one of their own players. So certainly when you watch France, you're not expecting a goal fest so far. Portugal, a bit of a mixed bag. They're inconsistent with their defensive structure. Depends on the circumstances. Leao down the left, flays it forward for the overlapping Nuno Mendes, who crosses, but the only one in the vicinity there was Tchouaméni, who cleared it away comfortably for France. Under no real duress there. The Real Madrid midfielder, another Real Madrid midfielder, stacked in that area. France and Real Madrid. Pepe. He did have a nervy moment in extra time against Slovenia, Pepe, when he did slip and give the ball away, giving Benjamin Šeško a one-on-one with Diogo Costa, but Costa made a fantastic save to deny him, but that was in the 115th minute of the game or something like that. And I mean, for 41-year-old going that long in a game, it's not many 41-year-olds can go more than one half of football, never mind two halves and both halves of extra time. The headline maker for Portugal in that one. Yes, Ronaldo had his own show when he was everywhere, winning free kicks, taking free kicks, desperate for that first goal in the tournament. Even missed from the penalty spot, but the headline was, of course, Diogo Costa making 3 saves in the shootout. First keeper to ever make 3 saves in a shootout of the European Championships. As Portugal have a free kick here. Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva over this one. Ronaldo certainly making himself a target, I'm sure. He did a lot of times some crosses against Slovenia. Certainly not back him against this one. Bruno Fernandes to deliver it near post. Jules Koundé had it covered. Puts it behind for the Portuguese corner. It was Rafael Leao that was lurking. Koundé anticipated it well and cleared it behind for the first corner of the game, which goes the way of the Portuguese, and they're fans behind that goal to the left of the commentary position. Bruno Fernandes to take the corner. And referee Michael Oliver, well accustomed to Bruno Fernandes, both in the same country at domestic level. Bruno Fernandes, delivery was close to the near post, but hooked away again by France. It was Kolo Muani that time, back doing his defensive work. Of course, Kolo Muani, who inadvertently was involved in the winning goal. He took the shot that deflected off Jan Vertonghen and gave France the ultimate winning goal against Belgium in the round of 16. I would take a wild guess at that being part of the reason as to why he's in the team. Marcus Thuram started the game against Belgium, but had multiple chances and he just couldn't take those chances. Marcus Thuram had one or two really good headers, and maybe it's just not in form, but that's what squads are for. That's why we have 26 players in the teams have 26 players in the squad. Options if someone isn't firing at the highest level, but there is someone else there. That's a lovely flick by Leao, and Nuno Mendes wanted to shoot. Was always curling away from goal, but the flick from Rafael Leao was the one to watch there. Got Jules Koundé in, pulled him in, and the run in behind from Nuno Mendes, the flick between the legs of Koundé. Fabulous from Rafael Leao. Almost working out. That's the thing. Anybody who's been watching the elections, the phrase "too close to call" would ring true in this game. It is too close to call between these two. You don't know what you're going to get from them from one game to the next. The inconsistency of these two at the moment is what makes it so unpredictable. It's not the fact that they're so consistent, that they're so good, that they're unpredictable. It's actually quite the opposite. We haven't seen the best of either of these two teams in this tournament as of yet. And I mean, will they show it in this game, or will either one of them just scrape through? Tchouaméni, nice ball, kept by Theo Hernandez, and Mbappe wanted to win the corner. The referee gives a goal kick. Mbappe felt the last touch was off Cancelo, but the officials didn't agree. We'll see if it was right. And they were right, the officials there. Last touch was off Kylian Mbappe. Well spotted. Of course, Kylian Mbappe for this tournament actually hadn't scored any European Championships. He's scored just the one goal, France's only goal by one of their own players in the tournament, from the penalty spot against Poland. It was a cool penalty, but he certainly had multiple other chances. I mean, he did miss one of the games after he got a broken nose, and he did miss one or two good chances against Austria on match day one of the group. So certainly creating opportunities, and that's one of the positive points that I made about France was, you know, all well and good that they've fantastic quality, and all the criticisms that they're getting, they're not finishing their chances, but the point is they're creating them. And when you've got such high quality players, it's surely only a matter of time when you're creating that many chances that they do start converting them. You know, no one's questioning Mbappe's goal scoring ability. I mean, at 25 he is already in the top 3 scorers in French international football history. Only Thierry Henry and Olivier Giroud have scored more goals at international level than Kylian Mbappe, so there's no doubting his goal scoring, and there's no doubting the creativity of France. It's just that clinical edge is just not there at the moment, and you can see that it's frustrating the team, but they are confident in what they can do. Well, that's not confident from the French keeper. Mike Magna giving away a cheap corner there. Got a bit too casual at the back. Took a touch right on the goal line, and it just rolled behind for a corner. It's really not what you want to be given to Portugal, giving them that confidence early in the game. Certainly not confident for Mike Magna. He's made some good saves so far in the tournament. He's looked pretty unfazed. Bruno Fernandes with a corner. And instantly making up for that mistake, Mike Magna. Making a comfortable gather as Mbappe was on the break there. That was wonderfully covered over by João Cancelo, who got back and wasn't allowing Mbappe past him with the football. Well tracked. And of course, I'm sure Portugal would have done their homework. I mean, you don't even need to do homework to figure out what Mbappe's biggest traits are. Well, here's Rafael Leao at the opposing side for him. For Portugal, Leao! The cross did find its way through. Fernandes, Palhinha on the left. Not much space for them to get through there. Here's Leao again. Has to go back to Bruno Fernandes, who's eyeing up a shot here. He will shoot. Will take a deflection, and it will be a Portuguese corner. You could see that from a mile off that he was going to take that shot, Bruno Fernandes. And it does just take a neck off someone on the way through. Just off the shoulder of William Saliba. On the way through. Corner to Portugal. Certainly after France's early possession, it's been Portugal that have probably been the brighter of the two teams since. A couple of set pieces. Corner on the right hand side. Whipped in, out swinger. Headed away again by Kolo Muani. But there was also a foul in there on Theo Hernandez anyway, so France were getting the free kick nonetheless. Ronaldo in there. Desperate to get up for the header. And just shoves over Theo Hernandez. Are we going to get the sequel to the Cristiano Ronaldo show? Or is it on a break? Is it delayed? We'll see. Certainly very entertaining watching the Ronaldo show against Slovenia. Give me a few queer smiles and giggles in that game. Conte. France go long into the midfield. Finds Griezmann. Conte. Griezmann weaving his way through there, holding on to the possession in the process. Hernandez. Mbappe back to Theo Hernandez on the overlap, but had nowhere to go but be challenged and give the ball away. Ronaldo to Bernardo Silva now. Cristiano Ronaldo forward for Vitinha. Portugal on the break now. Here's Rafael Leao off the left. Look at the lifted into the box. Again headed away by Upamecano. And that really brings that Portuguese attack to a pretty drab end ultimately. I'd be wary of Leao if I was France. He's had some early involvements. Pretty big involvements, that is, in Portugal's attacking play. Here he is again. Leao. He looks to just tiptoe down the sideline, hugging the touchline, and ultimately the touch will get him another corner off Jules Koundé. Portugal certainly in the ascendancy in Hamburg so far, but it's still goalless. Roberto Martinez, of course, Portuguese head coach. So far his side have given us a mixed bag of results and games and performances. They started well here. Let's see what they can do from this set piece. Bruno Fernandes. Right-footed delivery. All the way through. And the header is up and away by France again. Saliba that time. As France try and conjure up a counter-attack, as Theo Hernandez bursting forward here. He's got bodies ahead of him. He's still going Hernandez. Couldn't get the pass. Although France nick it back though. Poor pass by Palhinha. Griezmann. Koundé gets the brick of the ball. Camavinga now. To Theo Hernandez, who will shoot. Saved. Conte wanted to follow up, but hooked away by Portugal. I think it was Nuno Mendes that got it in the air ahead of Conte there. So whopper of a strike from Teo Hernandez. Camavinga. Griezmann. Mbappe tried to feed in Conte, but just evaded his grasp there, N'Golo Conte, and goes through for Diogo Costa. It was worth the chance from Teo Hernandez. I think that was France's second shot of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't a bad effort. Certainly wasn't massively testing for Diogo Costa. It will be tough to beat tonight for France if they are to conjure up enough chances to test him. He will be well up for this. Be certainly high in his confidence levels after those saves in the shootout against Slovenia. And some made some big saves in the game. Not no more than that Šeško chance that almost found its way past him. Almost giving them a goal, Slovenia. But here come France. Conte to Kylian Mbappe on the left. Cancelo watching on. Mbappe gets to the byline. Look at the pep of the cross. Costa got in the way and cleared away by Palhinha. That is customary Kylian Mbappe, that one. That bursting pace down the left flank. That little, where it completely does in the fullback. They've no chance. He just does that little burst. A little run. Griezmann trying to link up with Mbappe, but it comes straight back to Tchouaméni. We'll look to switch it out to Jules Koundé. He's a bit isolated on the right hand side, not as high up as probably what he was in previous games. Maybe just wary of that Leao threat. Although here's Mbappe. Now Koundé on the right flank. Cuts it back to Camavinga. Chips it into the box, and Griezmann was the target of the back post, but the free kick, or the chip ball, just a bit too much on it. But we're watching Mbappe again. The little bit of skill. Break away from Cancelo, gets the cut back, and again Costa got a hand to it. And then we're just seeing the Teo Hernandez chance from a bit earlier on. Threatening one from distance, 127 kilometers per hour, that strike. A lot of pace on that one from Hernandez. Halfway through the first half in Hamburg. Portugal 0, France 0. Both sides having half chances, shall we say, so far. Nothing major clear cut or massive attempt in terms of goal scoring, as one of the Portuguese players goes down. The referee is going to stop it. It's Ronaldo that's gone down. He's holding his head, which gets the concern from the referee, so he will be checked upon. Just see it again. Battle with Teo Hernandez, and they slightly clashed heads, tiniest a bit, but of course it is a clash of heads. It does have to be checked up, Ronaldo. Make sure he is okay. Otherwise it could be another addition to the Ronaldo show. He is okay to continue. Back to his feet pretty swiftly, the 39-year-old. N'Golo Conte switching the ball out to Koundé, stretching the Portuguese defence. Back infield to Camavinga. Now to Koundé on the right. Camavinga trying to continue in his run and pushed off the ball there by Pepe, but fouled according to the officials by Pepe. He felt it was a fair challenge. The officials disagreeing with the veteran defender. And yeah, they've got a point. And he just does shove him over. A bit much there from Pepe, but smart from Camavinga to win the free kick. Of course, Camavinga coming into midfield for France. The 21-year-old plays for Real Madrid, of course. Has played in 2 other games in the tournament so far. The game against Austria and Poland, both from the bench. Griezmann to take this free kick then. Left-footed delivery. Colomawani was closest, but Portugal clear it away. Mbappe. Hernandez on the chase, but Bernardo Silva has it covered. Well, that one's not cleared away convincingly. Tchouaméni to pick it up for France again. Camavinga. Right to the right to Koundé. And the game ebbed and flowed so far. Portugal had their little spell. France are now having their little spell. Here's Mbappe, who is offside. Flag went up against Kylian Mbappe there. Just see it again. Yeah, just went a bit early. Unluckily for him. Well, I did mention these two sides do have history. Very much, very recent history, of course. And we can talk about all of that. This is their 5th meeting between France and Portugal at a European Championships. Portugal unbeaten in the last 2 meetings. France won the first 2 meetings between the two, in going on to lift the trophy both times on those occasions, in 1984 in a 3-2 win and 2-1 in 2000. And Les Bleus know a win could send them on their way to silverware once again, of course, if they do progress. Semi-final against Spain would be on the cards. Leao down the left for Portugal. Koundé gets beaten past. Leao tries to cut it back, and Upamecano again in the way. Behind for another Portuguese corner. Leao is the problem. The problem maker, the troublemaker, shall we say, for the French defence so far. We have matched him, but his pace and his skill and his ability down that left-hand side is certainly causing early problems. Certainly winning Portugal a lot of corners, a lot of set pieces. Fernandez to take this corner then. Leao is the short option. He will take that option. Leao taking his time. Back it comes to Bernardo Silva now. Fernandez to whip it in from the angle. Away by Hernandez, and now France can try and conjure up a counter-attack here. Conte trying to feed it forward for Mbappe. Look at the pace of Kylian Mbappe. Still going at the byline. Cuts it back to Griezmann. Edge of the box. Griezmann will shoot straight at his own player there. Camavinga. Now Theo Hernandez. Can't lift it in. Back to Camavinga, who will strike. But, well, wide that from Eduardo Camavinga. But the pace from Mbappe is incredible. The ball by Conte, and then he just absolutely left Nuno Mendes for dead. No way Nuno Mendes was getting anywhere with Kylian Mbappe there. Incredible pace. That will be France's threat. I mean, it goes without saying, but it will be. Might be obvious. That's where they're at their best. And Mbappe is just charging at defences. He's given the time and space. Not often that is the case, but when he is against the best, he is the best. Bernardo Silva. Pepe. Bruno Fernandes. Back to Pepe. Fernandes out wide now to Nuno Mendes. Down the line. It's Leao again. Tracked all the way by Upamecano. And it gets the cross in, but gathered by Mike Magna at his own near post. Strange atmosphere at the moment. Camavinga now finds Mbappe. And couldn't find the pass back to Camavinga, but does keep the possession for the minute. Mbappe against Balinha. And will win the throw-in off the Portuguese midfielder. Good challenge by Palhinha there. Mbappe knew it was coming. Tchouaméni. Conte. Camavinga. No. Try for the inverted one. Mbappe finds Kolo Muani, trying to ride his way through, but fantastic from Pepe to stop him in his tracks. As Vitinha holds it up here for Portugal. He's got two French players around him in Conte and Koundé, and has to put it out for the throw-in as he run out of room there. It was great from Pepe. Kolo Muani was trying to break his way through the middle. Wonderful ball by Camavinga initially. Here's another one over the top. Just a bit too high for Mbappe as Costa gathers. But Camavinga with a wonderful infield diagonal. Almost kind of curling it round the midfield and getting it into a gap where France can try and exploit. Almost got the benefit of that, but Portugal have one of the best and most experienced centre-backs who's seen everything that he can see on a football pitch in Pepe, and it seems like he's got the answer to almost everything. So invaluable to the Portuguese at this moment in time. Mendes, well closed down by Kolo Muani there, coming deep. It's good to see. Sometimes striker can find themselves isolated in the game, but Kolo Muani certainly come deep quite a lot of times. Even from set pieces, he's been in the box helping France defensively on those occasions. Well, the previous 4 teams to eliminate France at the quarter-final stage of a major tournament have gone on to win the trophy. Italy in the 1938 World Cup, Greece at Euro 2004, Spain at Euro 2012, and Germany at the 2014 World Cup. So if Portugal defeat France, they could be on their way to lifting their second European title. If that will be a good omen for them anyway. Here's Antoine Griezmann. Koundé looking for the deep cross. Away by Cancelo, but Mbappe will have a bit of freedom on the left flank for at least a couple of seconds. He takes it down. Chops back. Goes back to Griezmann. Best of touches. Back out to Mbappe again. Now to Tchouaméni. France patient in their build-up. Koundé got the switch from Tchouaméni. Wonderful pass. Now Conte, edge of the box. Gives it wide to Camavinga. He's taking up that right flank. Tried to squeeze it through, and Griezmann had got a slight bit of space but couldn't bring it under his control. And Fernandes was there, spotted the danger and got it away for the corner. Antoine Griezmann picking up a pocket and a gap, as he always does for France. Well spotted by Bruno Fernandes to cut that one out, and France have a corner. Their first corner of the match. Portugal have had 5 corners before France have had their first. Griezmann takes it short. Koundé back to Griezmann from the angle, chips it across the box. Upamecano, I think that was, at the back post, dealt with it somehow, inadvertently. Upamecano across to Camavinga. Got rid quick. He was under pressure. Saliba. Tchouaméni. France reluctant to whip the ball in from that corner, which I'm interested as to why. Camavinga. Again, no room for him to manoeuvre. Has to go backwards, but tries to feed it down the right flank for Griezmann, but watched all the way by Nuno Mendes, as Griezmann tried to nip in to get the ball and giving away the Portuguese throw-in. Mendes. Fernandes. Looking for Ronaldo on the run. And Saliba's got him well covered over. That's a wonderful bit of defending from William Saliba, who has broke out massively in this tournament, given the trust by his international manager, and he's repaid him in bucket loads so far. William Saliba, fabulous player, showing his best at this tournament. Camavinga, now Koundé on the right, back to Tchouaméni. Griezmann breaking past one challenge. Now Koundé looking for the cross, slow, but into the path of Pepe. He tries to clear, successfully so. Oh, comes all the way back to Pepe again. Fernandes on the left, fizzing that one down the left flank, but cut out that time by Tchouaméni. Portugal will get the throw in. 10 minutes to the first half to go. Portugal 0, France 0. If anybody's been watching France games, it's not too uncommon that we get to this point of a game and it's 0-0. Their 5th game of the tournament. Both of these teams, obviously. Both want to play 7. That's the target. That's always the target coming into an international tournament, especially this one. 7 is the magic number. Here's Vitinha. Out to the right. Cancelo. Now Vitinha again. Through the lines. Nice run from Bernardo Silva. Well spotted by Saliba. And marked it all the way back as Magna clears. But again, another great spot from William Saliba to deal with that run. Just to completely stifle the attack. Palhinha. Bernardo Silva flicks it on. The cross from Cancelo is all the way through. Leao was making the chase, but Koundé held him off long enough. Koundé comes away with the ball. Camavinga to N'Golo Kanté. Bit of space here for Kanté. Gives it wide to Hernandez on the overlap. Now Mbappe. Mbappe with a reverse ball. Not on the same page as Theo Hernandez there. Goal kick to Portugal. That's what I mean about France. That moment exactly there when they look they're in flow state, but a little mistake, a little pass that goes the wrong way, it just isn't that clicking that we've seen from France in previous tournaments where they have been incredibly fluid, but they haven't put it all together. They haven't put their best parts of their game all together into one moment. Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo. Leao. He's pipped upon by Camavinga. It will be a throw in to Portugal. Leao complaining a bit that the ball was thrown away from him, but wasn't taking the throw in. Koundé well aware that he's not going to have an easy night with Rafael Leao on his shoulder at every twist and turn of the game. And it's all about finding that balance for both French fullbacks. We've seen they like to bomb forward, we've seen they like to overlap and apply that width for the attack, but they need to be finely balanced because Portugal have wingers of their own that they need to be wary of as they come into the box. And that cross over the head of Leao that time. Koundé can come away with it again. Camavinga. Just spin it out to Hernandez. Deft touch by Theo Hernandez. Tchouaméni. Kanté. Griezmann and comfortable on the ball. Kanté. Switch ball there. Perfect ball out to Koundé, who travellas it into the box but cleared away. Excuse me. As Ronaldo picks up. And now Portugal trying to get up the field with Leao. Have to come back with Pepe first. To Cancelo. 5 minutes of the first half to go. Cancelo looking for the ball forward to Ronaldo. Again cleared away, but Vitinha picks up the loose ball. Now out to Bruno Fernandes on the left. Vitinha trying to weave his way through. Closed down by Camavinga. Although Kolo Muani loses out and ends up giving away the free kick. Randall Kolo Muani. Will be a free kick to Portugal, of which Vitinha has one. And there's a man on the field that can maybe have a go from this range. Certainly more than one. If the last game's anything to go by, there's only one person that's gonna take it. And that man in the middle there has the number 7 on his back. Fernandes and Bernardo Silva beside it, but you'd be a fool to say that Ronaldo won't be taking this one. He's yet to score at this tournament. Officially. He did score his penalty, but those don't count as official goals in the tournament. He's had so many chances, so many opportunities. None of them have fell and worked out for him so far. Is there a change in fortune? Well, Ronaldo, he doesn't take it. Bruno Fernandes took it, but it's over the bar. I mean, I don't think no one was ready for that. Fernandes completely saw that one well over the bar. Was never testing Mike Maignan, that one. Maybe Ronaldo should have taken it. Nonetheless, through into France on the left-hand side. 3 minutes of the first half to go. And there's a collision here off the ball. Fernandes is the one that's gone down. Tchouaméni was the one involved with Fernandes, although nothing's come of that. Just a collision, nothing more. Saliba. Camavinga. Back to Saliba. Across to Upamecano. He will try and go up the field. Again, nowhere to go but out of play for Deo Upamecano there. A wasted bit of possession from France. Here's Ronaldo. Back to Vitinha. Now Palhinha. Gonna switch it out, but overhit that one as Hernandez intercepts. Now Mbappe on the halfway line to Griezmann. Tchouaméni. Fed out to Koundé, who felt he was trampled upon there by Rafael Leao, but a fair challenge, says the referee. Now here's Bruno Fernandes, tries to escape Tchouaméni, who intercepts, but Ronaldo was there to win it back. Leao chips it back to Nuno Mendes. Team press that from Portugal to win the ball back. Cancelo. He's trying to break forward. Nowhere to go. No one to find, but he's back in the midfield. Vitinha just about keeps possession as France were pressing there. Out it comes to Leao. Now Vitinha. Mendes. To Leao again. Mendes through the lines. Finds Bruno Fernandes. Back it comes to Vitinha. Trying to chip it back into the box for Fernandes, but straight into the hands of Mike Maignan, the French keeper, who gathers comfortably. Excuse me. Hernandez to N'Golo Kanté. Right wide again to Hernandez. So we're coming up the last few seconds of the first 45 minutes. See how long will be added on at the end of this first half. Nothing is the answer to that one. No added time at the end of the first half. Probably reflects how the first half has gone. Neither side have really created a major goal-scoring chance, and maybe lacking quality at the half-time mark. With 0-0 the scoreline, there's nothing to separate these two teams, but contrastingly to Spain-Germany a bit earlier on, they were having chances galore. And this one is the attackers that are struggling once again. Half-time in Hamburg. It is Portugal 0, France 0. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Half-time in Hamburg between Portugal and France in the second of our quarter-finals. And there's nothing to tell you, really. Portugal 0, France 0 at half-time. There were a total of 5 shots in that first half. 2 for Portugal, 3 for France. And if we combine the XG of both teams, we get 0.15. 0.07 from Portugal, 0.08 from France. Basically what it tells you is that neither team have deserved anything from that first half. Both really lacking in the final third. Portugal without a shot on target in the first half. France with just the one, the Teo Hernandez shot that was saved by Diogo Costa. 8 touches in each other's penalty area in that first half. I mean, we're really scraping the barrel with this one. France actually slightly the more accurate of the two teams in the final third. They've actually had much more final third entries and much more accuracy in the final third. If we look at the comparisons, Portugal have had 58 passes in the final third, only 48 of them accurate, so that's 83%, so that is quite high. But at France, percentage-wise, 84%, but they've had a lot more passes in the final third, 103, 87 of which were accurate. So ultimately, both sides pretty accurate when they do get into the final third, but it's just that last moment that is lacking from both teams. At the moment, it's been at walking pace at times. I mean, 1 or 2 occasions, Mbappe's got broke free and hit on the counter-attack, and Rafael Leao's been bright for Portugal. But individuals at the minute, we haven't really seen a moment where either team has kind of seen a systemic attack, if we say it in that sense of it's a kind of repeated pattern of attack and play. It's kind of been just individual moments. I mean, it's been really slow, it's been really kind of lethargic at times with both teams. I said halfway through the first half, it's a weird atmosphere. It's like, it just seems a bit strange at half time, and that first half I mean, no discredit to either team. They've got major quality in both, but to be honest, it's not been great, to be honest with you. But I said, so far, if you're tuning in for a French game, don't be expecting a goal fest, because so far in the tournament, France have scored a major total of 3 goals, 2 of them own goals and 1 from a penalty, and they are yet to concede from open play. They've just conceded 1 goal in the tournament, and that was from a penalty. So there hasn't been a game where either team has scored more than 1 goal for France, or in a game involving France in the tournament so far. All 4 games have either had 1 goal or 0 goals in the tournament so far for France. Certainly not a goal fest. Portugal a bit different, actually. Much more entertaining. In their group, definitely. The 2-1 comeback win against Czechia, the 3-0 win against Turkey, and then that 2-0 defeat to Georgia. But that 0-0 draw against Slovenia means they are now at, if I work out my maths, they have not scored in 2 games, 120 and 90, that's 210, 255 minutes of football since Portugal last scored a goal in the tournament. They didn't score against Georgia, and they didn't score against Slovenia, and at half-time against France, they haven't scored. So maybe that kind of defence is maybe figuring out Portugal, maybe nullifying Ronaldo, although he hasn't scored in the tournament, maybe nullifying that threat and not being clinical enough with their other players in the moment. I mean, they haven't been majorly clinical in the tournament so far, Portugal. I mean, the comeback win against Czechia, they got the equaliser that was forced home. The Conceição goal was fantastic, and that one to win it for them in the later stages. Turkey basically handed them 1 or 2 goals against them. Then they didn't score against Georgia and didn't score against Slovenia. So when they've been up against it, Portugal, and they've needed a goal, it just hasn't come so far in the tournament. And that could be a worry if they are to need a winning goal at some point. France, if they need a winning goal, opposition beware, because it's going to be an own goal that's going to win France the game. The only 2 games that they've won in the tournament, France, they've drawn 2 and won 2 up to this point. One of those a knockout game, and both games that France have won, they have got the winner has been scored by an own goal. So if France are to go through, I would certainly put your money on it being an own goal that gets them through. But that's not betting advice, but my humble opinion. Anyway. Right, so while we've got very little to talk about, let's go to the chat then. EFE TV says Germany out, didn't see that coming. Yes, Germany out. The hosts not going home, eliminated from the tournament. The first side, the first host quarter-finalist, if that's complicated, the first host nation to play in a quarter-final that has been eliminated at a quarter-final were Germany. 4 previous occasions where the host has got to the quarterfinals, they have gone on to progress to at least the semi-finals, but Germany the first team to buck that trend. The extra time winner from Mikel Merino securing the result for La Roja. Although they might be in a bit of trouble, Dani Carvajal got a second yellow, so he was already suspended for the semi-final anyway. Robin Lenormand also suspended for that one for accumulation yellow cards, and Alvaro Morata as well ruled out for that semi-final against either Portugal or France due to the accumulation of yellow cards. Tomorrow, we have 2 more quarterfinals for you as we watch England take on Switzerland, and the Netherlands face Turkey tomorrow. 2 very intriguing games. 2 sides that are, well, I wouldn't say that England are the favourites against Switzerland. They've been what I called them earlier in my little rant, lackluster and lethargic so far, and lacking. England, Switzerland, who probably been buoyed by their results, of course, knocking out the holders, Italy, and also feeling confident in the football that they're playing. England not as confident, and maybe the hint that maybe they'll change their system heading into that one tomorrow. We'll wait and see whether they'll go to a back 3, England. Whether that will help them, we will see, because they have, from their own admission, they struggle against a back 3/back 5, which Switzerland play. We'll see. The Netherlands then, as I said, take on Turkey. Turkey, of course, that historic that incredible win against Austria in the round of 16 to secure that place. Netherlands much more comfortable against Romania. Impressive. Cody Gakpo, the main star for the Netherlands at this moment in time, the joint top scorer of the tournament. Could be the outright top scorer. If I look at the stats, the top scorers, there's only Cody Gakpo, who is the joint top scorer, along with 3 other players. He's the only one remaining left in the tournament. The other 3, Georgios Mikitadze of Georgia, knocked out at the round of 16. Jamal Musiala of Germany, knocked out earlier this evening. And Ivan Šranc of Slovakia, knocked out at the round of 16 as well. So Cody Gakpo, the joint top scorer, the only one left in the competition. So he isn't the outright scorer, but he's the one that leads the way, that's still in the tournament and with a chance of adding to that advantage. Right. We do have the second half between France and Portugal on the way in just a moment or two. A couple of moments away. It is still 0-0. I did run you through the stats in that first half. Not much to really tell you between the two sides. A really disappointing first half. But Ronaldo had a few moments. Mbappe had a few moments. Leao had a few moments. So there are certainly things bubbling under, shall we say, that maybe could create an exciting second half, and one that's probably not to be missed, because it's one of those ones where we have a boring first half and we have an absolute cracking second half. We will see. We will see. Kind of similar against Spain and Germany, although that first half was decent. They had all the goals in the second half / extra time, so you never know. We may be building up to something here. At the moment, the poll in the chat on the prediction of who will make it to the semi-finals. Keep those votes coming in. It's great that you're getting involved in the chat. At the moment, 76% of the poll predicting that Portugal will progress to the semi-finals. Only 24% saying that France will do that. Keep those votes coming in. Great to have you with us. Right. I can now call to a break, and we'll get ready for the second half, which is bound to be an exciting one. I'm going to be optimistic. Portugal against France. 0-0 at the break. Second half's on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024, second half between Portugal and France on the way in just a moment. England take on Switzerland in the third of our 4 quarterfinals tomorrow from 5. Gareth Southgate may be hinting at a change of system to match up against Switzerland, who were a tough task for Italy. Switzerland, who beat the holders. Could they beat the runners-up one step further and get to their first semi-final, Switzerland, at an international tournament? That could be on the cards tomorrow from 5, alongside Netherlands-Turkey as well. Plus, we'll have both semi-finals and the live final, alongside all 4 quarterfinals, as I mentioned, live on LFS. All have live watch-along commentary, and you'll not miss a single moment, including the live final next Sunday, 9 days' time, before the final will be played, and it will decide our winner, who will be the new champions of Europe. There are only 7 teams left in the hat, and after tonight there'll only be 6, and after tomorrow there'll only be 4. That's how tournament football works. So Germany certainly won't be lifting it on home turf. Spain still have that chance. They've won a couple of times before. Portugal as well won it in 2016. France won it a couple of times. England never won it. Switzerland never got to a semi-final. Netherlands got won it in 1988, and Turkey have also never won it. You can tell I was wasting time trying to run the time down, filling time, shall I say. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. And we thank each and every one of you that is watching us here on LFS. It's great to have you with us. And also do follow us on socials as well, on X, Instagram, and TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. So do follow us on those, because you'll not miss a single thing. On those, and also on the YouTube community page, we're filling out the content. We're doing polls galore as well, and we'll have that all the way through the off season before we head back for the new domestic season at the start of August. More details on that to come in the next week or so. Right, France are back out on the field. Portugal going to be joining them, so making them wait, shall we say, are Portugal, and inside the Volksparkstadion, which is interesting. Let's see what these two can conjure up in the second half. It wasn't a blockbuster first half. It was probably a first half to forget, really. But will it light up in the second 45? We'll find out. France kicking from right to left. Portugal kicking from left to right. No changes at the break. So both confident in their sides on the field. They can get the job done for now, at least. So get back underway. Michael Oliver, as I said, is the referee, an all-English refereeing team for this one, of course. Very interesting, very fascinating that English referees had come under criticism, and I did kind of reform my views on the English officials in the first game of the day, when I talked about Anthony Taylor, who had actually refereed a really tough game, but refereed it really well. Sometimes maybe the VAR was maybe a bit annoying. The VAR for this one isn't English, by the way. He's from the Netherlands, Paul van Bokel. But everyone else, the assistant referees and the assistant video referee, is English. The fourth official is Simon Marciniak of Poland. Not that that's interesting information, but just in case you were curious. At the start of the second half. So as I said, no changes. So both sides comfortable and confident in the personnel on the field. Maybe not of how they played, but the personnel certainly not a problem for either Didier Deschamps or Roberto Martinez at this moment in time. I really want to see an unleashing of at least one of these two teams. It'd be great if they both unleash and go full gung-ho attack, but we'll see what happens. Nuno Mendes, Fernandes, Vitinha. Now to Cancelo. Trying to add a bit of energy to my voice in the second half. Cancelo to Pepe on the halfway line. Cross to Mendes. Down the line is Leao. Tries to take it with him. Well covered. Although he does get the ball off to Bernardo Silva and looks to lift it into the box. Too high for Ronaldo, who is frustrated again as Theo Hernandez chests back to his keeper. Pretty comfortably. Ronaldo certainly feeling the frustration of those inaccurate crosses. The crosses that they were actually inaccurate again against Slovenia. I mean, they were just off, but they were flooding in the crosses, and they just didn't work out in that night for Portugal. Seems to be the similar case tonight. Every time they put a cross in, it's not particularly in the right area. Griezmann out wide to Hernandez. Back to Antoine Griezmann, who just loses his balance, and Vitinha can now break through for Portugal, but Camavinga had him watched all the way and wins it back for France. Slight slip there from Griezmann. His teammates were there to mop up the trouble. I'm sure he's counting his lucky stars there, Antoine Griezmann, that his teammates were there. Mbappe, Conte. Now Theo Hernandez. Ooh, not the best of touches from Conte there, but he does make it work. Camavinga trying to feed it down the line for Theo Hernandez. He's cleanly challenged by João Cancelo. He's still on the floor, Hernandez. He's off the field of play, although that's a poor pass. Randall Colomowani in the way, but couldn't make much of that as Palhinha clears it away for a throw-in. Hernandez is back to his feet. Just say it again. Looks to be a decent tackle for me. Not much in it. Not much wrong with that. Does maybe clip Hernandez, but he cleanly gets the ball, so no problem with that. Here is Theo Hernandez. Now Mbappe. Trying to go for the 1-2. Mbappe. Straight into the hands of Diogo Costa. Safest hands in the stadium, surely. But Mbappe would certainly make your defence tremble. Anyway. That was exactly what we like to see from Mbappe. It's probably where he's at his best, that when he does get that burst of pace, that little split second where you've no idea what's going to come next or where he's going to be. Oh, Koundé slides in, he misses the challenge. Mendes goes down. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. I don't think Portugal even complained there. Need to be wary of that. Said that Jules Koundé needs to be wary of coming forward. Nuno Mendes, kind of like a second winger on that side with Rafael Leao. I mean, that's a dive and a half, that is. Nuno Mendes. I mean, there's no way that was gonna be given. He literally dived like an Olympic swimmer. No need for that. Griezmann in between the lines. Conte couldn't feed it through. Back to Griezmann it comes. Now Tchouaméni, who will shoot. Again blocked and maybe a bit wasteful as Ronaldo picks up. And Portugal get the ball. So the ball sent down the line, but that one will evade Rafael Leao, who was breaking forward, but was going to get nowhere near that ball. Again, maybe a bit of frustration from France. There was no need for that shot from Tchouaméni. Wasn't open. Wasn't any space for him to find it. A ball over the top. Mbappe trying to stretch the defence again, but Dias to head it clear. Griezmann picks up the loose ball. Out wide to Koundé on the right. Tchouaméni. Camavinga. Out to the left-hand side for Hernandez. Back to Conte. Trying to feed it through for Hernandez on the overlap. Hernandez across and come out the other end. Now Koundé trying to cut it back. Blocked again and cleared away by Portugal, but the ball across from Theo Hernandez. I'm trying to see who it was that was waiting in the box, but just a bit less pace on it. Would have been a tap in at the back post. Ever so close again, but that's Hernandez. The threat he has on the overlap. Little jink passes. So threatening and so hard to defend against. Tchouaméni spreads it out for Koundé on the right hand side. Koundé with a cross. A lot in that. Too much in that. And evaded Kylian Mbappe in there. Throw into Portugal. See it again. Just saying that 1-2 from Mbappe a bit earlier on. That was. Portugal again get the throw in. Of Conte this time. It's not like Didier Deschamps has seen his side in an unfamiliar position. Seen his side 0-0 in a game quite often in this tournament. So that's a risky pass across from Cancelo. Does get it off and does find Nuno Mendes on the opposite side. Pepe. Vitinha. To Nuno Mendes. Still again, just not that attacking potency at the minute. There's no urgency in the game at all. Neither side are really in a hurry to do anything as Upamecano comes across there. Puts it out for a Portuguese throw. I mean, he took Rafael Leao in the process, but Ronaldo will win the corner. That was good off Camavinga. Another set piece for Portugal. I think this will be their 6th corner, the first of the second half. It's all about the delivery. Said their crosses haven't been great so far for Portugal. They just haven't been accurate enough. Can Fernandes change that? Corner, left-hand side for Portugal. In swinger. Right-footed. Fizzed across. Bernardo Silva. Had it blocked. Cancelo to lift it back in. Magna punches away. Now Fernandes again. Good from Portugal, although they give it away. And France now on the counter-attack. Griezmann. He's got players charging forward with him. Antoine Griezmann runs out of room. And the referee stopped the game for a moment as Mbappe's gone down. The game stopped for the moment. I have no idea why. He's actually given a free kick. Mbappe's gone down. He's masks him off his face and he's holding his nose. That's not a good sign at all for France. Oh. Bernardo Silva headed the ball right into Kylian Mbappe's face. That's why. He's got that mask off holding his nose. And he lost the yellow card there, the referee. Vitinha helped him find it. So Mbappe's getting the treatment at the moment. It's okay, but I don't know how much protection that mask gives you, but I mean, if you're having a ball headed right at your face, I don't think the mask can do very much against a broken nose in that situation. It's all part of having a broken nose in a tournament, in a physical game. I mean, ultimately it does help his team defensively, but I don't think he really cares about that at this moment in time. And then Griezmann gets forward, maybe just tugged back by Palhinha. Like maybe a bit easy, but ultimately does go down, and I'm still unsure as to whether he got the free kick for it, because Mbappe got the injury, which had the game stopped for the moment. And he got his mask on, and he should be okay to continue. The free kick wasn't given, actually, by the way. Portugal did win the ball back fairly. Right, here's Vitinha. Locking back in. Here's Rafael Leao up against Koundé. Lifting it into the box, but lifting it too high. There was no one in there to follow it in. Goal kick to France. Mbappe still not comfortable. He's back on the field and he's got that mask on again, but of course it won't be a comfort for him for a while yet. Conte took the touch, lost the possession. Cancelo. Ruben Dias. Across to Pepe. It's all about who's going to blink first. Substitutes could be the difference. More than likely will be the difference. Griezmann. Koundé. And again, Randall Colomawani. Offside. He just stretched offside. Still been pretty poor overall, to be honest. Maybe the Spain-Germany game, like the Spain-Germany game, we need a goal, just one goal to ignite the game. Certainly ignited the Spain-Germany game anyway. Late drama. Pepe. Switch ball out to João Cancelo. Fernandes. Ruben Dias. Palhinha. Now Pepe. Vitinha again for Portugal. Out to the left. Mendes, nice flick on for Leao. Here he is. Rafael Leao into the box, going himself. And it's deflected behind from Camavinga. Got back. Chased him all the way back. Got a vital touch to get it behind for the corner. That is a huge bit of defending from Eduardo Camavinga. And France have another set piece to defend. That was really good from Camavinga. Now Bruno Fernandes will take another corner. Into the box it comes. Convincingly cleared, but does find its way all the way back to Mendes. Bernardo Silva. Again, a pretty flat outcome from another set piece. Portugal maybe have had the better advantage, but at the moment, not making it work. Although that ball over the top, just into the hands of Magna. Run was made by Bruno Fernandes, just not found. Tchouaméni. And chip it forward. Given away though. He battles back to win it. Back off Vitinha, but gives away the free kick. Aurélien Tchouaméni. France have about 7 players warming up on the side. 6 players warming up on the sidelines. Interesting. They're not short of attacking options, France. There's no doubt about that. If they need to change attackingly. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Fernandes! Big save by Magna. Portugal certainly finding the advantage now. Bernardo Silva, Fernandes, and Cancelo wide. 2 very good opportunities. All of a sudden from Portugal. Have to see this again. Fabulous ball by Cancelo. Through for Bruno Fernandes. Just strikes it low and hard. Magna got down to his right to make the save. And then the follow-up, a minute or so, or about 30 seconds later, Cancelo has a good chance. Just wide. Maybe that could be the wake-up call, the bit of energy, the moment that could open this game up a bit. 29 minutes to go. Plus any additional time, and as is the case in all of the knockout games, if we are level after 90 minutes, extra time and penalties is there if we need it. Tchouaméni. Mbappe back to Aurélien Tchouaméni, and a feed it out to the left, taken down well by Theo Hernandez, cuts it back. Now Mbappe. Seemingly recovered. For the moment, anyway. Conte caught in possession. Luckily had a teammate there to win it back in Saliba. Now Tchouaméni will shoot again. But he completely wastes that opportunity. I have to be honest. Aurélien Tchouaméni's taken about 6 shots in the last 2 games, and not a single one of them have been anywhere near finding the back of the net. Someone needs to tell him to stop taking shots. Because at the minute, he's not getting any closer. He's getting further away, if even. As Portugal come forward again. Vitinha. Now Leao. Off the left. Leao through. Vitinha. Big save. And somehow they keep it out, France. Ronaldo was there. Magna was there too. And somehow... really good move down the left-hand side. Vitinha to Leao, back to Vitinha, who'd continued his run. The shot at Magna saved, and then the ball pinballs about. And Magna in on Ronaldo, who tried to flick it back. Great save by Magna. Reactionary. Saliba half clears it. Back out for Ronaldo, and then Ronaldo and Magna in a battle. And it gets Portugal a corner. Portugal certainly having a very good spell in the last few minutes. Much more threatening than France. Could be a worry for Les Bleus at this minute in time. Bruno Fernandes to take this corner. Delivered in again. Headed away again. France have no option to counter-attack as Leao recycles the ball back to Mendes. It's a lot more controlled from Portugal. Dominating more in the last 5 minutes. And they're certainly having a lot more shots to go with it. They've just overtaken France in terms of the shots. They've had 4 shots in the last 5 minutes or so. That's more than they had in the whole of the previous 55 minutes, 57 minutes of the game. Finding something different and getting a bit of joy out of France at the moment. Probably unlucky to not be ahead. Vitinha. Portugal in the ascendancy, not ahead on the score sheet. Leao, Mendes, back to Vitinha, Palhinha, out it goes to Cancelo. Now Bernardo Silva, and to find Palhinha, but run off the ball and France win the ball back, although that's a nice step in from Nuno Mendes. Luckily for France, they can get it away as Griezmann now tries to send them on the counter. That's not a great pass to Kolo Muani. He does just keep it in. And he's battling with Leao there. Koundé to Kolo Muani! And somehow that stayed out. Diogo Costa's made a big save there as well. Lovely combination between Kolo Muani and Koundé. They give and go. And Kolo Muani on the half volley takes the strike and it deflects. I think it was Ruben Dias that got the deflection. Goodness me, that was close. Both sides having good chances all of a sudden. As Antoine Griezmann has come off and Ousmane Dembele is on. So Griezmann, no more. Dembele on in his place. Hernandez with the delivery. Cleared away. Koundé with it again. Be interesting to see how France operate without Griezmann. And how they attack without him. He's been playing off the right wing, which is primarily Ousmane Dembele's position. Been more central in this game, but started on that right wing. Let's see how they can change in the later stages. Here's Dembele. With a chop in field, looking to run at the edge of the box. Tried to have the shot half cleared. Back with Ousmane Dembele. Now around the corner is Mbappe. Tried to cut it across and the block in there. Into the hands of Diogo Costa. But maybe Dembele introducing a bit of a spark into the game in France's attack there. Extra bit of energy, those fresh legs could make a big difference against a strong defence late in a game. A quarter of this game to go, and again, as has been the case in multiple games, it could be one goal that decides it. These games at Euro 2024 have been so closely fought. There isn't much between the sides. By God, do we know it. All these late equalisers, late winners. Hard fought victories. Maybe a slice of luck now and again. It's not been an outright massive pasting of any team in this tournament. Certainly not of either of these two teams. They're still not at their best, but showing one or two glimpses in the second half of their attacking quality. Of course, Ousmane Dembele, interestingly, didn't start against Belgium for France. And they continued in that similar system, but he started all 3 group games for them. He's yet to score at the tournament, yet to assist at the tournament, as is nearly every French player. Actually, all of them would be. Mbappe is the only player to score so far. Certainly not lighting it up, but can he make the difference later on for Les Bleus? Bernardo Silva. Now Leao, who could be the difference maker for Portugal, who's been bursting down that left-hand side, and he comes again, and the cut back into the box, cleared away by Camavinga. As Conte takes it down, and he looks to break away now for France, but turns back on himself to give it back to Jules Koundé, who will fizz it across. Nice switch ball out to his opposite fullback in Theo Hernandez. Camavinga drives in field. Camavinga across. Kolo Muani, nice stretch out to Dembele on the right. Ousmane Dembele trying to wither his way through. It falls to Camavinga, and it goes so narrowly wide. Another maybe moment for France. Wonderful footwork from Dembele. It takes a slight nick off Pepe. Goes back into the path of Camavinga. He's got to try and sneak it in the far post. It was just curling away at the last second. It does get past Diogo Costa. That was ever so close. But that is huge. So many teams, both teams have had really good chances. The last 10 minutes, I would say, well, they probably should have and probably would have felt that they'd have got a goal. But at the moment, nothing to show for those moments. Still 0-0. 71 minutes gone. Portugal 0, France 0. Is there going to be something else in this tale as Dembele spreads the ball wide? Theo Hernandez has got a bit of space down the left. What can he do with that? He cuts it back to Camavinga. Back it goes to Tchouaméni. Cross to Conte. For Meccano. Now Koundé. Down the line to Dembele. Hugging the touchline. Dembele fizzes one in. Cleared away. As Conte looks to recycle. He's certainly brought that extra bit of energy to the game, Dembele. Different dynamic for the Portuguese defence to deal with. Something extra in the game that maybe could bring that different idea for France. Portugal are eyeing up a change of their own in a moment. Nelson Semedo on the sidelines, just getting last minute information from Roberto Martinez. As France play on with Hernandez. Comes in field now. Tchouaméni, out wide it goes to Dembele again, who's in a bit of space. Leao on the overlap. Dembele with a cross. As Pepe clears again. Certainly got that burst of energy that is testing this Portuguese defence, and they're making a double change, Portugal. Nelson Semedo and Francisco Conceição is going to come on. So we'll tell you who they're coming on for in a moment, as we're still playing. They're not making those subs just yet, Portugal. Saliba. Hernandez. Saliba. Tchouaméni. To Koundé. Now out to Dembele. Again, feeds it across. Got it by Palhinha, back again. And almost for a third time, but cleared away. Luckily for Portugal by Nuno Mendes. Just in the nick of time. Dembele is certainly a massive threat now. Here he is. Ousmane Dembele again. Driving infield and go for the shot. That wasn't too far away. He has been electric since entering the field. curling. Arwen towards the top corner. And literal inches away. It just skims its way past the left upright. Changes incoming then for Portugal. Bruno Fernandes is going to come off. And João Cancelo as well. So Cancelo and Fernandes off. And Semedo and Conceição on. To the double changes. Conceição has come off the bench but had differing impacts. He came off the bench against Czechia, scored the winner. Came off the bench against Slovenia and had very little of an attacking impact. Portugal were stifled by a very strong defence, but we'll see if France have that stubbornness and discipline that Slovenian defence had, because I'm sure that Portugal will certainly have more chances in this. Both sides will create as we head into the final 15 minutes or so of this one. In a minute, we're heading towards extra time, which would be obviously the second in 2 quarterfinals, but the 4th time that we've been to extra time in the tournament so far, if we do get that far, and it would be the 2nd time for Portugal in 2 games. Semedo, Conceição, the 2 subs linking up there for Portugal. Back it comes to Ruben Dias. Vitinha. Ruben Dias. To Conceição. Vitinha. Portugal a bit of possession now after France had their spell. Again, ebbing and flowing. Each side's having their little spells in the game where they look threatening. Certainly the last 15-20 minutes have been the most threatening in front of goal of any part of the game so far. Both sides having some good chances, none of them being converted so far. France not too unaccustomed to a 0-0 draw. 2 of their last 3 draws have ended 0-0. The 0-0 draw with the Netherlands and the 0-0 draw with Canada in their final warm-up game before the tournament. They also had quite a number of draws. France, they're accustomed to an often draw. Although they haven't drawn too many games over the last 2 years. Combining all of their games, they've actually drawn more games in the last 5 than they have in the previous year and a half before that, which was only 2 in a year and a half. One of those was against Greece and the other was against Austria back in June 2022 in the Nations League. As I said, they've drawn 3 of their last 5 games. Canada, Netherlands and Poland. Probably all teams they should be beating, really. None of those games France scored from open play. Is that a similar diagnosis to other games? As Vitinha just pulled that there. Will be a free kick to Portugal. Right, it comes to Leao. Mendes. Vitinha. Dias. Not seen much of Ronaldo in the second half. I might eat my words and I might end up jinxing the performance, but certainly not seen much of those crosses that we saw in the first half or in the previous game. He's still calling for them, just not seeing them as much. Conceição to Semedo, who tried to get the ball in. Blocked again by Camavinga. Will be another Portuguese corner. And the clock continues to tick down, ever closer to extra time. They've really taken on board that mask the whole mask idea of the French fans. It's one on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mask there. I'll say no more. Corner for Portugal. Again into the box, but punched away by Magna. And all the way back as it's cleared away again. France get it out of danger. Koundé heading forward. Now Dembele trying to marsher his way through. Ruben Dias does get a challenge in, and Dembele ends up under the challenge and getting a free kick. João Palhinha gets the yellow card. Mbappe that was tapped. And I don't think that would be it. I would feel why João Palhinha is a bit annoyed by that. It doesn't look like a yellow card to me. But João Palhinha, if Portugal now progress, he will not be involved in the semi-final with Spain if they are to go through due to accumulation of yellow cards. I have to say that I would say that something that might need to be changed. We've seen so many suspensions for 2 yellow cards in the tournament. It's a bit excessive. I mean, how many players have I mentioned in either the last commentary or this one? If they get booked, they'll be on a yellow. They'll be missing the possible next matchup. It's just exhausting. Anyway, Koundé, Dembele, Conte, a bit of a slip from Portugal. Conte lifting into the box, but too much, too close to Diogo Costa. Comes to nothing. Just when you think there's going to be a glimpse of something, it ends up coming crashing down. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. It'd be greatly appreciated. We do thank each and every one of you that's tuning into the channel, and do subscribe and do tune in every time, or even every now and again. It's great to have you with us, or even if it's your first time, welcome in. If it is your first time, don't forget tomorrow England take on Switzerland. Hopefully a more entertaining game than this one, although we had an incredible ending of our last game, so maybe we're getting a bit greedy. England take on Switzerland tomorrow from 5. Less than 10 minutes to go. Portugal 0, France 0. At this rate, it won't be less than 10 minutes remaining. It will be an extra 30 tagged on the end with extra time as it stands. Or is there someone to make a difference? Vitinha on the left. Going to lift it in, but well charged down by N'Golo Conte. Will be a Portuguese throw. Pepe. To Vitinha. Back to Pepe. Ruben Dias to Francisco Conceição. Back to Ruben Dias. Patience. That's all you can say. Patience. As Portugal win the ball. And Portugal give away the ball, sorry. They've won it back now. Bernardo Silva battling against Mbappe. And a fair challenge, says the referee. Bernardo Silva certainly not believing in that. Doesn't agree with the referee. I mean, it looked a bit much from me. But Mbappe comes away with the ball. As Camavinga tries to weave his way through, but goes right into a few bodies and ends up on the end of something, as the referee's letting a couple of things go here. There's a French player on the floor. Now Bernardo Silva. There's a collision there. And it's going to be a yellow card for William Saliba. And a free kick will come Portugal's way as Conceição stayed down here. Saliba resistant in that one. I mean, Yeah, it is a foul. So William Saliba in the book. There's the former Portuguese head coach, Sergio Conceição. The dad of Francisco Conceição, of course. Watching on in the stands. Seen all the replays of those chances, the many chances in this game that there's been. Now a free kick. Let's see. Ronaldo over this one for Portugal. Could this be the moment? Cristiano Ronaldo. He's eyeing up a cross. He's not going to get across. He's going to go and whacks the wall. Another wasted effort. 5 minutes to go. This is it. We'll be here all night. It will be a corner for Portugal. Deflection of Vitinha's effort. As France make a change, the man who made way in the starting 11 for Randall Colomuani is going to be coming on for him. Marcus Thuram. So Colomuani off, Marcus Thuram on. The final 4 minutes of normal time. Portugal with a corner. It's getting to score and win territory now. It certainly is. Vitinha with a delivery away at the front post by N'Golo Kanté. And again, all the way back it goes to Diogo Costa. Extra time looms. But we await a possible star to shine bright in Hamburg that can change the fortunes of their team. I've not been convinced that either side would score. I mean, they've had good chances, but very good chances at times. But you can just get a feeling at times where you think, this is just not going to be tonight. There's just not going to be anything out of this game tonight. You can feel it. As France get played around. Conceição tried to absolutely swing that one around. Koundé chested it back into Nuno Mendes' path, and now here's Rafael Leao. Well defended by Koundé. Picked up by Mbappe. Now Kanté for France on the counter-attack. Giving it out to the left-hand side for Ousmane Dembele. Back to N'Golo Kanté, who will shoot! And the shot straight into the hands of Diogo Costa. Certainly not a rocket of a strike from N'Golo Kanté. Pepe. To Nelson Semedo. He's got the energy, he's bursting forward. Now to Conceição, the two substitutes. That's Conceição's cross, headed away by Saliba. Brought down by Mbappe. Back to Kanté, who's working ever so hard to keep the ball and does keep the ball. Camavinga. France look to counter again. Here's Dembele off the right. He's certainly got the energy. Through to Thuram, just couldn't take it under control as Pepe hoofs it up the field. But Ronaldo was offside, so France will get a free kick. Certainly on the edge at the moment. Could we see something late to change this? Here is Conte. Will come forward again. This shot again pretty tame. If you want a player shooting there from that range, no disrespect to N'Golo Conte, but it's not him. I wouldn't pick him, to be honest. Last minute of the 90. Hello. Great credit to N'Golo Conte. He's been fabulous again. Still on the edge. You could literally flip a coin on the winner. Either team could win this. Neither side have dominated. Neither side have been at their best. Neither side have really kind of convinced any of us that it's been entertaining. It's been top quality. None of that. If either side score a late winner, it will be the jammiest winner in a long while, because it's certainly difficult to see anything other than 120 minutes 0-0 and penalty shootout. Oh, Saliba not with a great header. Bernardo Silva, sorry, was in the way. Tried to shoot, well blocked. Again, had to beat. As Koundé tries to send France on the counter. Thuram in a straight race with Pepe. Thuram still keeps the ball. 3 added minutes. Thuram skips past Pepe. He's got teammates with him. Can he find one of them? Wants to go himself. And Pepe puts it out for the corner. Incredible from 41-year-old Pepe. He's still going somehow. That's an incredible challenge. To time that so perfectly. And the joy and real feeling that the passion that he takes in defending is unrivaled. Corner for France. Only their third corner of the game. Portugal have had 10 corners. Corner delivered all the way through at the other end. And Mbappe will look to curl one. That was well too wide from Kylian Mbappe. And Portugal will make another change. João Palhinha is going to make way. And Ruben Neves will come on. So Neves on and Palhinha off. Palhinha already on a yellow. He will miss the semi-final if Portugal were to progress. So he will play no more part tonight. And if he does play again, it would be in a final for João Palhinha. Portugal have to get there first, of course. Just over a minute to go. Looks like unlikely there will be a winner now. You never know, though. It looks very likely that extra time is looming once again, as it was earlier. It seems to be the desired way of of getting through, as another round of La Marseillaise gets sung in the stadium. That's a lovely touch by Conceição. Last minute. Is there a winner at the death? Conceição trying to squeeze a bit of room, but he's well tracked all the way. Dias. Neves. Awkwardly cleared away that time by Thuram. You can imagine, as France on the counter here. There's not much urgency in it, but they're on the counter-attack. Here is Dembele. He's certainly got energy. Dembele sets it up for Mbappe. Into the hands of Costa again. It looks so easy, so simple for the Portuguese keeper. And he looks like he's just going to grab everything at the moment. And there it is. The referee calls to an end. 93 minutes of normal time. And not a single difference in the two sides. Another set of 30 minutes to come before a possible penalty shootout. And not a single thing between these two. Certainly not been the most enticing game, the most entertaining game. But at the minute, it's certainly intriguing, because we're no further in knowing who will be in the semi-final against Spain. We'll find out in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live, and another 30 minutes to come at least in this one. Extra time a bit earlier on, and Spain got the winner in the 119th minutes. Will there be a similar story in Hamburg between Portugal and France here? At the minute, the two captains are getting their legs massaged while we're waiting for the extra time to happen. Both head coaches having a bit of a team talk. Roberto Martinez certainly gathered everyone in there, trying to galvanise his side for extra time. As he's already done it once, and they've already progressed once, Portugal, using extra time. They got to penalties in that one and won 3-0 on penalties. Sure, Didier Deschamps will be doing the same, as we're getting the pictures of Roberto Martinez throwing his hands about. France are actually ready to go. They've had their little pep talk. They're ready to go. I mean, I can't say I'm going to be convinced that there'll be a goal in extra time. I'd hedge my bets on penalties, but you never know. I was hedging my bets on penalties between Spain and Germany in the latter stages, and Spain won it, so you can never predict. You never know. We do have two more games for you coming up tomorrow: England, Switzerland, and Netherlands, Turkey, so you don't want to miss those as well. And as I said a bit earlier on, Spain overcoming the hosts Germany. They took the lead before they were pegged back in the 89th minute, before they won it all again in extra time. At the moment, both sets of fans, a mix of excitement and nerves, shall we say, for the extra time. Just seeing the referee calling both captains over to get the extra time started. Mbappe in his mask and Ronaldo doing the coin flip to get the kickoff. And France making a change. Exciting. Youssouf Fofana is going to be coming on for France. He's going to come on for Eduardo Camavinga, who's had a stellar performance in midfield, coming in for Adrien Rabiot, who was suspended. Maybe his absence could be a difference for France, although Camavinga, certainly not been his fault. Maybe France haven't found the net tonight. He's done a lot of work, much more further back for France defensively this evening, and he's played a stellar job as Youssouf Fofana comes on in his place. Of course, as I mentioned, you get an extra substitute for extra time. France have made 2 previous, and Portugal 3. So Portugal still have 3, and France now also still have 3. They just made their 3rd. Back on the way. Can the substitutes have a say, or will one of the players that's in for the long haul, make the difference. Will fatigue come into question? Will it be on a knife edge till the very end? Will penalty shootouts come to pass? Or will we get another extra time winning goal? All those questions up in the air, and we will wait to see if we can answer them. We'll answer them in the next 30 minutes, but what will be the outcome? Upamecano forward to Fofana. Conte. Now to the left-hand side for Hernandez. Now forward to Mbappe. Making the run down the left flank. Mbappe trying to chip in field, but lost the ball. Does he tried to get into the box? Semedo intercepting. As France trying to win it back. Fofana tried to dive for the header. Couldn't get the ball. Brought down by Bernardo Silva. I have to say, if you are one of these sides, I mean, France untested from shootouts in this tournament so far, obviously, having only played one previous knockout game, but Portugal already won from the shootout, so if it does go to penalties, Portugal will feel they're confident, but France untested, so they're an unknown quantity on that front. But if Diogo Costa's on the same form that he was against Slovenia, Portugal again will head through on pens, if they can convert their own, obviously. But we will see. Mbappe, as it is defensive work. Hernandez pops long, but no one on the chase as Pepe recovers for Portugal. But we know that there's a vast majority of players on this field that can make the difference with a single moment. Bernardo Silva. Conceição breaks past his man, chops it back, Ronaldo skies it. Another huge moment. Wonderful. Talk about Mbappe's burst of pace. Wonderful from Francisco Conceição. The cutback perfect into Ronaldo's path, and he just leaning back. It's so unlike Ronaldo. Completely skies the challenge, the chance. Gets a round of applause from his head coach as Portugal win it back again. Poor from France in midfield, although that was good from Tchouaméni to win it back though. Mbappe. Conte to spread it out to the right flank, taken down by Dembele. Tiptoeing his way through. Lays it off to Fofana. Thuram. Conte. Now Mbappe. Swift passing from France. Both sides with a bit of urgency in the extra time. Maybe both not keen on penalties again. Mbappe, France certainly not. They went out of the tournament at Euro 2020 on penalties. But they'll also know that Portugal beat them in the 2016 Euro final in extra time. A 103rd minute winner from Eder, securing the trophy for Portugal. Will not want the similar type of result to that. A haunting like that. As Maignan has to hoof it out of the field, out of the bounds of play there. Pepe. Ruben Dias. Semedo. Down the line to Conceição. Has to chop back Conceição. Vitinha. Certainly Portugal wanting to control the possession a bit more. France much more keen for a counter-attacking approach at this moment. It's Conceição. Semedo. Closed out there by Teo Hernandez. Will be a Portugal throw. 1/6 of the way through extra time. 5 minutes down. Third of the way through the first half. Semedo. Down the line. Semedo trying to go for the 1-2. Well cut out by France as Thuram gets the break of the ball, but the referee is going to pull it back on Youssouf Fofana for a free kick. Handball, I believe. Accidental, but handball. Conceição with a cross. Koundé head it clear. Not convincing from France, so that's a lovely turn by Dembele. And he's got space forward to run. He's got bodies going with him. Dembele weaving his way through. Ousmane Dembele still beating the pass. Lays it off now to Mbappe. Has the shot charged down. Took too much time with that one, Kylian Mbappe. Dembele probably should have went himself. Tried to be too kind, too accommodating. Should have been more selfish there, Ousmane Dembele. He created the chance, he made the run. Should have finished it off too. Here's Youssouf Fofana. He's trying to do the same. Linking up with Thuram. Thuram! Again, off target for Marcus Thuram. Didier Deschamps certainly cutting a frustrated figure on the sideline. I mean, I can't blame him. Certainly not seen his side play free-flowing football very often in this tournament, if really at all, to be honest. That's the type of football that won them so much. Won them that World Cup, won them that Nations League. They're incredible quality up front that when they got a chance, they always finished it off. They had such killer instincts in the final third. Seems to have, that razor sharp knife has just really blunted itself in terms of that metaphor. France, that was once a razor sharp attack, has really turned into really a blunt spoon. In a sense, if we want to go down the cutlery idea. I think I'm going a bit crazy. Saliba has to go back to the keeper. Certainly not something I would do at this rate. There's Upamecano pushed by Ronaldo. It does well. The beat past him is Dembele. Had the last touch there. Portugal get the throw in. Nuno Mendes there, making sure that he got his team a throw in. Those little moments make the difference. Pepe, how he's still playing at this time of night. How he's still playing after so long. 99 minutes. I mean, incredible. Ronaldo trying to create some magic. Right to Leao. Mendes. Vitinha. Billy, bright spark for France. He's the difference maker at the moment. Not that he's made any goal scoring difference. In terms of the way France have attacked, there's been a lot more energy about it. I mean, you could say Conceição for Portugal as well has injected that extra bit of energy that Bit of bursting pace in the final third, but just not getting them over the line at the moment. 10 minutes of extra time down, so a third of the way through, and we're no closer to finding out if there will be a winner in extra time. Of course, there will be a winner. Nelson Semedo to Conceição. Dias to Neves. Now Conceição. Neves. Passing around at the moment, Portugal. Waiting for their opening, waiting for their chance. Vitinha. Now Conceição. Quite a number of bodies for Portugal up the field. The cross comes in from Semedo. Not cleared away. Leao. Somehow it's not gone in again. Still got the ball, Leao. Cross from Nuno Mendes. It's cleared away. I need to see a reverse angle of that chance. Hyatt didn't go anywhere near the French goal. Someone must have got a touch to it. A block in there to deny them. I mean, maybe we haven't been treated to the best of attacking play, but certainly both teams defensively have been rock solid. Although, will there be a slight crack in that defensive structure in the latter stages? I'm basically just trying to come up with metaphors at the minute. There Hernandez to go long. Doesn't get any deflection out of that, so Portugal get the throw. A reminder for you, of course, the winner of this one will play Spain in the semi-final. That semi-final will play on Tuesday, so on Tuesday night, and then the winner of tomorrow's two games will play each other in the second semi-final on Wednesday next week for next Sunday's final. At the moment, these two certainly not encouraging us that they're going to be scoring their way to the final, more or less defending their way to the final, and it could come down to a couple of shootouts. As I said, France lost on penalties that saw them eliminated at the round of 16 at Euro 2020. They were 3-1 up against Switzerland. Switzerland got 2 late goals to bring it to extra time penalties, and ultimately the penalties ended in Switzerland's favour. Mbappe missed his penalty. France also lost the World Cup final on penalties a year and a half ago. So once again, France not the best record from shootouts. Portugal have recent success, as in of just a few days ago, the most incredible success from the shootout, but it will be a nerve-jangling, nail-biting affair if it was to go 2 pens. Last minute of the first half of extra time. Certainly not flown in, shall we say. Here's Nuno Mendes to try and drive forward for Portugal. Maybe a break on for them here. He's held off the challenge well. Now Conceição. And to shoot himself, but that one was always rising and always going behind for a goal kick. Absolutely nothing of that. Seeing the Rafael Leao chance a bit earlier on. It was a block by Deu Upamecano that denied him a clean shot at goal. And so there's the end of the first half of extra time. Certainly, again, not the most exciting, but, you know, we'll take it. we are certainly not much closer to finding out who will be victorious. The second half from extra time on the way in just a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live, and at the minute it seems like they're all preparing for penalties. It's certainly not been convincing in the first 15 minutes of extra time that either team wants to go out and win this in the 120 minutes. Looks like they're both just seeing it out for pens. We will see. Let's see. Although, that doesn't look good for Kylian Mbappe. He's just taken his captain's armband off. And this might not be good for France. Well, it looks like Kylian Mbappe is not going to be returning to the field. And it looks like his night is over. And it's going to be nail-biting for him for the next 15 minutes at least. Could be a penalty shootout. And Bradley Barcola will come on for France. Another player that's at least started a game for France in this tournament. Bradley Barcola. I mean, Kylian Mbappe looks in high spirits, but it's a bit strange that he's come off. We'll see whether it could be a masterstroke by Mbappe. Barcola could score the winning goal. Could be one of those things that seems a bit strange at the time, but could be very big in the grand scheme of things. João Felix is going to be coming on for Portugal as well. They're going to make that change now, Portugal, anytime soon. Roberto Martinez giving final instructions to João Felix. I don't know what the delay is, but hurry up and get him on the pitch. Get us started. A bit slow, this. Is everybody just a bit slow today? Rafael Leao is the one that's off and replaced by João Felix, so maybe just running out of energy, shall we say. Leao, he's certainly, for the majority of the game, threatening France's defence, but his night is over as we have 15 more minutes of extra time before a penalty shootout will be needed. And I'm sure on this circumstance a lot of people are happy that it's a penalty shootout, not golden goal. Because if it was golden goal, we'll be here till probably the next European Championships for to find a winner in this match. In terms of the first team to score, that's great from Jules Koundé. Hook that one out for the throw-in. The big story, Kylian Mbappe on the bench. He made that decision himself, clearly. He took his captain's armband off, gave it to N'Golo Kanté, while Didier Deschamps was doing the team talk at half-time. Clearly. Obviously, after that earlier kind of blasting of the ball in his face, considering he has a broken nose, I wouldn't blame him, but it's a bit strange that he isn't able to go another 15 minutes and possibly a shootout when he's probably one of the most clinical penalty takers in the tournament. Not just in the French team, but in the tournament as a whole. Maybe France aren't playing for penalties anymore. Maybe they do want to get the winner. And Bradley Barcola could be the difference. We'll see. Bernardo Silva. Back to Costa. Pepe. Both teams certainly tentative at this moment. As Portugal win the throw-in down the left-hand side. Pepe. Back to Costa. Might be preparing himself shortly, Diogo Costa, for penalty shootout. I mean, I'm all but convinced that will be the case. Although, here's Conceição for Portugal. Off the right, next to chip it to the back post. The header is in the side netting from João Felix. Maybe that could energise the second half, because now France want to come forward. Here's Dembele down the right. He's got Thuram and Barcola with him. And Portugal getting back to win the throw-in. Get the throw-in. Come France. Yeah. João Felix tries to go for the near post. It should go across the goal from that area. I mean, hindsight's great in that, but, you know, true. 12 minutes. France have maybe had a renewed bit of energy for attacking after that chance. Although, come back with Upamecano. Back to Magna. Upamecano. Tchouaméni out to Theo Hernandez. Barcola on the turn. Linking up with Marcus Thuram. Trying to spin his way through, and he will get the free kick, Marcus Thuram. I have to say, the French fans certainly not happier of the two at the minute. Just getting shots of both sets of fans. The Portuguese fans singing and jumping, and French fans look like, let's just say, they're hearts in their mouths. Certainly not confident in the late stages. Very nervy. That's how big this is. France come into this tournament as one of the favourites. It's one of the top teams in the competition, as one of those that you would bet being in the final, considering they were in the World Cup final 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, and won the tournament in 2018. Although this is good from Portugal. Here's Ronaldo. Just showed too much of the ball there to Theo Hernandez. Ronaldo's in a bit of pain there. See this again? He just might be offside. I think close that. Flagged offside, by the way. 10 minutes of extra time to go. Portugal certainly the much more intent in getting a winning goal, but at the minute France just holding on, shall we say. Oh, France maybe a bit nervy in their passing. As Conte strides away with the ball. Fabulous from N'Golo Conte. Here's Barcola. Youthful energy. And fresh legs. Not long on the pitch. Could add that extra little bit. Koundé out to Dembele, who himself isn't on very long. did come on and did add that extra bit of energy to the French attack. Hernandez now to Conte. Tchouaméni. Conte. Across it comes. Chested down by Fofana. Just about keeps it alive to Tchouaméni. He looks to switch it out to Dembele. Takes a wonderful touch. Here's Ousmane Dembele. Cuts on to his left. Dembele. Eyeing up the shot. It's over the bar. Probably what I should have done earlier. Now that I've seen him do it. Probably bet against that. Again. I mean, goes back to the same point. Everything up until the final third. Everything up until the last pass, the last touch, the last minute, last moment of the attack is perfect. The finish that's letting, well, both teams down at the minute. But I've said it about France since the first game of the tournament. Not clinical enough. We talk about the shots tonight. France have had 18 shots. Portugal have had 14 shots. The foul there. Upamecano giving Portugal the free kick. Ronaldo was the one that was fouled. 7.5 minutes of extra time before a shootout is needed. Ball switched out to the right hand side. Here's Conceição. Portugal still throwing a lot of bodies forward. Conceição hits it off Barcola, wins the throw in. Back to Semedo. Now to Bernardo Silva. Ruben Dias. Pepe, back to Dias. Silva. Up the line. Looking for the run of Nelson Semedo. Former Wolves teammates Ruben Neves and Nelson Semedo. Or are they still? Who knows? Not important for the moment, as Mbappe still massaging his nose, so it is clearly annoying him. That was the case, that would be the case all the way through the tournament, of the fact that he won't be getting surgery on his nose until at least the tournament is over. Or at least until France's tournament's over. More to the point. Barcola looking to drive in, failed. Here's Bradley Barcola. A shot wide again, but everything up until the last shot was wonderful. Slalomed his way through two defenders. Great quality, but again the clinical finish not there. Certainly intent on trying. That's the problem. They can't find the finish. As Pepe overhit that ball. Some tired legs, surely. Fatigue creeping in. I mean, hi Pepe still on this field. I said it about 20 minutes ago, but I mean, 115 minutes in 2 successive games in a matter of days for 41-year-old. I mean, he can't be human. It's just not possible. Not possible. Throw in for Portugal. Just under 5 minutes to go of extra time. There's not much. Oh, that's a poor pass by Conte. Given away, and Conceição has to be shown down the line by Theo Hernandez, and France now have a corner to defend. Again, tired legs showing itself. This one a lot more threatening though from Portugal. th minute. for the winner between Spain and Germany. We're into the 117th minute in this one. Vitinha will take this corner. Vitinha with a cross all the way through, and the shot is blocked, but France will get the free kick anyway. And as Ronaldo committed the foul on, trying to see who that was, Upamecano. Ronaldo. I'm guessing that's not the rude gesture. I'm guessing he's making the signalling at number 2, the number 2, not the other gesture. Not the referee's decision. And that would be sitcom-esque. 3 minutes to go. What is the likelihood of 2 late extra time winners? Very unlikely. Here comes Dembele. Wants one. Gets a corner. Surely more than enough time. Is there going to be the opportunity? As Portugal readying another change. I'll tell you that in a moment. France corner. Whipped into the box. Upamecano up with it. Oh, tried for an overhead kick there. Someone in the box. And Portugal get the free kick. I mean, that is bizarre. Matheus Nunes is coming on for Portugal, the Manchester City midfielder. And Vitinha is going to make way for him. So, guessing that's a penalty decision. Or for penalty shootout decision, because I think Matheus Nunes is going to make a big impact with a minute and a half to go. Although you never know. The pressure could be on. Koundé back to Maignan. Saliba. One final minute. We'll see how long we added on. Maybe a minute or two. If that, the referee didn't add anything on to the first half of extra time, so we'll see. Dembele. Tchouaméni. Koundé. Passing it around. France. Hernandez. Barcola. Nice link up with Hernandez, who's breaking forward here. Theo Hernandez. A cross. Escaped Marcus Thuram's grasp as Ronaldo tries to come up the other end for Portugal. 20 seconds to go. Decent effort. That was a lovely drag back. And now Portugal look at the bodies forward. Here's Bernardo Silva in the way. The shot is right into the hands of Mike Maignan from Nuno Mendes. My goodness me. You're not going to get a better chance to win it than that. And now France want to come up the other end. Attacking. Breeds attacking. Here come France. Into the box. The ball will just roll its way towards Diogo Costa. Thuram was surrounded. And that's it. It will be a penalty shootout to decide the winner. The referee has had enough, and I don't blame him. And with 120 minutes, again for Portugal, 2 games in a row in the knockouts, and they're yet to see a goal scored or conceded, Portugal. And another shootout incoming. Can Costa renew his heroics in the round of 16? Or will France buck their recent trend, having lost in their last 2 penalty shootouts? The penalties are on the way in a moment. Do stay with us. So, welcome back. Penalties on the waiting list for this one to decide another game for Portugal in the knockouts after another goalless 120 minutes. A pretty lackluster game, let's be honest. Let's not hide and shy away from it. It wasn't the most entertaining, it wasn't the most exciting, and it certainly wasn't the best quality of game, but sometimes it takes penalties to decide. And we all love a penalty shootout. Who doesn't love a penalty shootout? They are the best way to win a game, but the worst way to lose a game. It's up in the air, and we will see what comes of this at this late stage. Fans don't look particularly convinced. Or Kylian Mbappe, who took himself off at half-time and extra time, he doesn't look comfortable. He looks pretty nervous. Don't blame him. It is going to be, as I said, nerve jangling. It's going to be tight. It's going to be down to the wire. Let's see. Who will progress? So the team talk's currently underway. It's Kylian Mbappe that's leading the French team talk. The captain showing captains-like qualities. Costa for his second successive penalty shootout in a matter of days. Four days ago, had the heroics against Slovenia. Became the first goalkeeper to save all three penalties in a shootout. Ronaldo and N'Golo Kanté. It will be the Portuguese fans where the shootout will be taken. And you can hear the celebrations of those Portuguese fans, so they have that advantage. And the majority of, I think France are going to go first here. From what I heard there, it looked like France are going first. And the stat usually is the team that goes first seemingly have the advantage. But Slovenia went first against Portugal. And Portugal went through. Footballers are superstitious. And surely a winning method is a method you will keep until you lose. And then it becomes a change method. Until that point, you will keep the winning method, of course. Referee having a chat with both goalkeepers, Mike Mania and Diogo Costa, to see what will happen. Just to have a chat with them to make sure everything is all in order. And we'll remind you, France going first. They won Portugal won both tosses. Of course, the Portuguese fans will be behind the goal that the penalties will be taken at, and Portugal decided in winning the second coin flip that they want France to go first. Let's see. And it's Ousmane Dembélé to step up first. Blasted a lot of energy into the game. But can he blast France into a lead in the shootout? We'll wait and see. Costa, who, has made some big saves in shootouts, most notably that round of 16 game. But if France get off to a good start, they score this, they might be buoyed. But if it's the same result as Slovenia's first penalty, Portugal will feel the support behind them. Ousmane Dembele makes it 1-0. Coolly taken penalty by Ousmane Dembele, who goes over to embrace his goalkeeper in response. Costa dove to his right, and Dembele just slotted it in the opposite side of the net. And France take the lead in the shootout. And Cristiano Ronaldo will step up for Portugal. He took the first penalty in the shootout against Slovenia after missing a penalty in extra time. It was a wonderful penalty that he took in the shootout. If anything, a replica of that, Mike Maignan will have a difficulty getting anywhere near it. Ronaldo against Mike Maignan to level things for Portugal after a penalty apiece. Ronaldo steps up and scores, no doubt about it, for Cristiano Ronaldo. And the Sues ring around the Volksparkstadion in response to that. He breathed a sigh of relief, waited for any sort of movement from the keeper. Maignan, who dove the right way, Ronaldo just put it too far past him. The pace was too much for Maignan to get. Youssouf Fofana next for France. Another one of their substitutes for the night. And Fofana stepping up. Fofana against Costa, who slaps his gloves together. Fofana stepping up and right down the middle. Costa dived again, and Fofana had the confidence to go right down the middle, and he slots it in. 2-1 to France. It takes a really brave player in a shootout, a really confident player in a shootout, to go right down the middle. Bernardo Silva to go next. He scored the ultimate winning penalty for Portugal in the Slovenia shootout. That was the third one. He takes the second to level things in the shootout for Portugal. He does. Again, Maignan dives the right way, but the height behind it takes it past him. 4 taken, 4 scored. 2 apiece. France back up for their next one. He dove the right way and he got a hand close to it, Mike Maignan. Got a right hand close, but the height behind it was far too much. And it was beautifully taken penalty by Bernardo Silva. And Jules Koundé next for France. One of the players that started the night, so both of France's penalty takers came from off the bench so far. This is the first of the players that started the game, so maybe tired legs could have an impact. Jules Koundé against Costa. Koundé! What a penalty! Lovely penalty, top corner. Forget about tired legs. That was a fantastically taken penalty by Jules Koundé. Wonderful. The question beckons, will France have certainly practiced penalties before this? Seems like they have. They've all tried different techniques. And they know Portugal can take them to a shootout. And now Mike Maignan. João Felix to step up next for Portugal. Can Portugal equalise for a third time? João Felix. Come on, late in extra time. Mike Maignan. Felix hits the post. Huge moment. And France have the advantage. João Felix hitting the left post. And France continue to lead by 3 penalties to 2. After 3 penalties taken apiece. It's one of those ones where it's inches between being a grip penalty and hitting the post. It's that close. And now, a chance. Bradley Barcola came on for Kylian Mbappe at half-time and extra time. Could give France a 2-goal lead to really pile the pressure on Portugal heading into their 4th penalty. Barcola stepping up, 21-year-old, with the pressure on his shoulders. Can he deliver? Barcola does deliver. 4-2 to France, and it's must score now for Portugal. Otherwise, they're going home. I mean, didn't look like there was any pressure on him there. Bradley Barcola sweeping that penalty wonderfully. And again, Costa diving the wrong way. And it's Nuno Mendes for Portugal. He must score to keep Portugal in it. A save or a miss would send France to the semi-finals to face Spain. Nuno Mendes has been bursting down the left wing all night. Can he blast this one into the net to keep Portugal in the shootout? He rockets it into the net. Lovely penalty. And it's now down to France. They score and they're through. They miss and Portugal are right back in the mix. Who will take the 5th and decisive penalty for France? And it will be, waiting on the visuals, Theo Hernandez. This is a huge moment for France. Score and they're through. Miss and Portugal get a second, a lifeline, a second chance. Theo Hernandez to send France to the semi-finals. From a shootout, scores! Perfect penalties from Les Bleus. Sends them through to the last 4. Penalty redemption. Beaten on penalties at Euro 2020. Beaten in the World Cup final on penalties. But a 3rd time lucky. Sees them convert all 5. And sees Portugal knocked out after they made a perfect penalty shootout last time out. Ronaldo called it his last Euros after the victory against Slovenia. Well, his last Euros ends in defeat. Ronaldo, at 39, sees France progress past them. The redemption of 2016, when Portugal beat France in extra time. And this is their redemption arc. France are through to the semi-finals. What a moment. Certainly after a pretty dreadful 120 minutes, a pretty good penalty shootout always delivers. That's it. Our first semi-final confirmed. Spain against France, to be played on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Emotions riding high for those Portuguese players. Mbappe seems to have recovered from his earlier injury, as the French fans bouncing with their players. Right, that's it. What a game, ultimately. What a penalty shootout. France converting all 5 penalties, and Portugal scoring 3 out of their 4 that they took. And France through to the semi-finals. Spain-France semi-final Tuesday. That's it from us. Tomorrow we have another quarter-final for you in England against Switzerland. England maybe changing their system. Switzerland doing what they've been doing best so far and looking for their first semi-final in a major tournament in their history. We will see. Thanks for your company tonight. Les Bleus and La Roja will meet when red face blue in the first of our Euros semi-finals. Good night.